Hi YouTube, it's Bobski coming at you from Darkwind War on Wheels. Sorry it's been a little while since my last video, hope you forgive me. And I'm going to show you something a little bit different this time. I'm assuming you've got the basics sorted out. I just want to show you almost like the end game, where you can kind of be getting to. Now, anybody who knows me knows I roll out of Badlands quite a bit. I'm just going to show you the squad and my tactics that I use. First of all, I'm going to go through the characters that I use, just to give you an idea of skill levels that you should be really kind of have before rolling out of Badlands, because Badlands, as it says, is a bad place. I'm just going to go through my crew. First of all, we've got Anne-Marie Bitchett Davis. I generally try and give people nicknames once you can give a nickname once you achieve 40 skill points. I don't give them nicknames until they've got about 100, because usually as soon as I give them a nickname, they tend to die on the next scout. Anyway, she's armed. She mans the ballistic weapon, but all of these guys are generally cross-trained. I don't know if you can see it here, but she's got a gunnery of 102, large guns 108, ballistics 147, and handguns of 62. She's an ex-user of alcohol, and she's got a missing leg. So, even though your characters can receive serious injuries, I will still find a use for them. Next is Roger the Rocket Holman. He's quite a good gunner. He's at 149 courage. Now you get courage specializations once you reach 150. So I'm hoping on his very next scout he will get a courage skill gain. The other thing is he's actually capped. So he's reached his maximum skill level at 125 in large guns. Now to roll in Badlands, 125 large gun skill on its own probably isn't good enough. But as you can see, I've cross-trained him. He's got gunnery of over 100. He's got ballistics of nearly 50 and handguns of over 50. So he's got quite a few specializations. And again, he's not unscathed. He's got an arm missing. So the first two guys I've shown you, a leg and an arm missing between them. David Tread Softly is a quite newish scout for me, so he's not that great. He's got driving skill of 65, and he's got a scout of 117. I'll show you my main scout in a minute. So he's kind of more training, and I use him for ferrying some goods about between the various camps as well. Wild Bill, he's one of my core drivers. Driving skill, again, he's capped at 105. Now, he's got a bit of gunnery skill and ballistic skill, and I'm not that worried. I mean, 105 is good enough to drive pretty much any cars quite well. Mad Max Michael Maxwell. That's a mouthful to say. Now, he is my best large gunner I have in the entire King of Clubs gang. He's just gained his courage skill. He's just got 150 courage. He's got a gunnery of 152, large guns of 223, ballistics of 150, and handguns of 105. So you can see he's been very well cross-trained. He's also got a load of specs. So he's got the Eye of the Hurricane, which is a great spec for training courage. And it was so hard to get my first guy to get that spec, but once they get it, you put him in a bigger car as you can, load everybody else in, and everybody is gaining courage quickly. He's got a heavy weapons of 2, and he is the guy that mans my tank gun. And all he's done is he's lost an ear, so he's quite intact really for most of my crew. G-Man Galen Murphy, he's quite an old ganger. He's also a mutant. As you can see, his strength is 51, his dexterity is 1, and his speed is 7. So he's not the quickest guy around, but he's a truck driver. He's only got a trucking skill of 79, but he's got various gunnery skills, and he's my only character I've got at the moment who has got psionics. Now, psionics are a great thing to have. Well, apparently they're a great thing to have, because whenever I get a guy with psionics, they get to about kind of 19, 20 points, and then they die. So I've never actually been able to use a psionic skilled character yet. So I'm hoping he survives long enough. His strength's okay, so he shouldn't die too soon, just to get that up to 50 to get my first psionic spec. Again, he's got a courage of over 150. Jason Arrow Fletcher, kind of again a low capper almost, 118 cap. But again, he's cross-trained. He's got gunnery, large skills, ballistics, and handguns, all over 100. So that gives him 8 specializations just in gunnery skills. So, a single one of 100 with 2 specs is okay, but you can imagine the difference when you've got all your gunnery skills up and you've got 8 specializations on him. Kenneth Deadeye, he's another core large gunner. He is actually capped at 197, which is a little bit annoying because obviously if he got that 200, that's another load of specs. And I will, use him wherever. He's got sniper skills. Again, his courage is 160, so he's got the Eye of the Hurricane skill. He's also a bit of a druggie. He likes his painkillers. He hasn't actually received that much permanent damage. All he's ever had is a bit of muscle damage on his shoulder. But I haven't bothered to kick him off his drug habit from that. We have Joel Bish Bash Bosh. He's, again, he was actually my first guy that got the courage specialisation. Again, he's a low capper, capping at 108. Good old Luke Duke. He's a driver, as you probably guessed. He's uncapped, and he's quite old. He's 35, which is pretty old in the terms of Darkwind. Sneaky Edward Donaldson. Now, he is my main scout. Unfortunately, he capped at 149 for scouting. So, the problem with this is he's not really a great scout to have in Badlands because he's just too low a skill. You need someone over 150, preferably 200 scout. As a result of this, not this week, the previous week, every scout he went on, I got ambushed with, and an ambush in Badlands can be bad news. However, because I put him in my scouting car, he tends to kind of be a distraction to the enemy, and he will chase any runners down, but he gets shot a lot. So he has actually got the highest courage in my entire gang of 184. Dr. Connie Edwards, guess what? She's a medic, but she's also a great large gunner. She's got a large gunning skill of 188, and she's capped at that. Courage skill, 135. So, a few more scouts, she might be gaining her Eye of the Hurricane skill. Again, she's got heavy weapon, rapid reload 2, rapid shot 2, bit of a sniper, and moving targets. And this is the advantage of cross-training. Again, she's old, she's 37. Whipping boy Keith Murphy, he's kind of a newish recruit. Training on gunnery initially, but as you can see, I've started to cross-train him. He's got 110 on gunnery. He's gaining a little bit in large guns. He's at 26, and he's got 51 ballistics. He's also got courage of over 150. And for a change, I thought I'd choose the adrenaline junkie skill. So basically, when he comes under fire, he actually starts to act quicker. And the more he gets shot, the quicker he acts. So quite an interesting skill. I haven't really seen it in effect yet. We've got the Reverend Mark Agiru. Yeah, Agiru could be. Again, courage is only over 150. Now, again, this is quite a new character for me. His skills are quite low. But just taking new guys out, they get scared quick because I get massively outnumbered. And, the courage gains are massive. David Jones, again, a new character. Excellent health still. Haven't even given him a nickname yet. But, he's got driving of 51, ballistics of 49 now, and he's got a courage of 146, so he's likely to be gaining another Eye of the Hurricane skill. And, once he gets a bit better, I might decide to give him a nickname. Christopher Ortez, another newish ganger. He's 18 years old with excellent health. scouting of 30, courage of 88, quite low, leadership of 3. So if he was in a car on his own, he was quite likely to surrender pretty quickly. He's the kind of guy I would use as a loot driver. Gregory Riley, again, he's learning to be a medic. 121 courage, no skills yet, no damage either. So, in excellent health. Again, I would use him as a loot driver. Donald Campbell, again, a newish guy. Nothing special about him at all, apart from he's received quite a few broken ribs. And he's an ex-user of Novocaine, so he kicked his drug habit. Good on him. Dusty Lewis, again, quite a low capper, 129, large guns, but he's cross-trained, 125 gunnery, ballistics over 100, handguns approaching that way. He's also a reasonable meg. Okay, it's only 109, but he can fix up cars quite okay, because I tend to leave quite a lot of wrecks behind in this squad. Here we have another loot driver, new recruit. I've had him for less than a week. There we go. Well, maybe a couple of weeks now. So Mutant, another new recruit. Great speed, 148 speed, 104 strength. So, he will he'll be shooting first most of the time. I've got him loaded up in a ballistics car. David Brown, another newie, 17 years old, good health, a mutant, 145 strength. Charles Crawford, another new guy, use him as a loot driver, training a little bit on large guns. Richard Smith, another young mutant, 120 speed, so quite good speed. He's going to be he's training as a trucker to replace the guys I'm going to lose, because my good guys are quite old now. They're in their 30s. Teddy Hansen, another new recruit. John Townsley, quite a newish guy, another trucker replacement. He's actually driving one of my vehicles, which I'll show you in a minute. Michael Braveheart Wallace, a scout primarily, but quite low level, only 66. Again, more of a loot driver. Snowy Ryan Blizzard, one of my key drivers. Only 73 skill. So your driving skill doesn't need to be that great to be okay in Badlands. Darth Russell Green. Now, this guy is called Darth for a reason, because he has a laser spec, and I have focused on it. He's a laser specialist of 3, and he has a sniper skill. Again, I'm cross-training him, and I really want to increase my sniper skills, because you can be hitting at nearly 200 meters with a good sniper on a laser. Mistress Jennifer Williams, she's a ballistics woman, but she's capped at 86, which is atrociously low. But, I don't care. I do not sack guys just because they're low cappers. I'll use them till they die. And that's handy. Just reload her rifle while I'm looking at it. Not that I get out and do a lot of pedding in Badlands. Stephen Light 'em Up Johnson. Now, he is my second highest large gunner. I've started to cross-train him, ballistics 101, gunnery 66, large guns 206, handguns 51. So he's got quite a few specs already. Sniper 2, rapid reload 2, machine gun 2, rapid shot 2. He's an alcohol user, and he's got a missing arm. So that's 2 arms I'm missing in this group of guys. And that is my entire Badlands crew. And I will roll all of those guys in a scout. And just to show you what I roll them in. Now, I have various BPUs, big pickup trucks. They're all very similarly armed. They all have a V8 engine. Some are A grade armors. This one's a B grade. But they generally have 2 front rocket launchers. Just because pickup trucks seem to do really well with rocket launchers. He has a left paint gun as well, which is just used to kind of mess the opposition up a little bit. So I have my scout in here. He's got Eye of the Hurricane skill, as you've seen, and 2 just regular gunners. They're nothing special. Sniper, rapid reload, sniper, rapid reload. One of them's got rapid shot as well. Okay. The next car that I roll with is what I call Firebird. Now this is a buzzer, as you can see, but it's actually a ballistic platform buzzer, which is quite unusual. Not a lot of people run these. I think more people are beginning to now. Now, this has got two rear napes, and you've seen nape guns in action. They're great for shredding tyres, for dispersing enemy attacks. But I've also got two front medium machine guns, and generally I will turn around and use those almost to mop up if I need to. Now, all my buzzers, well, let me go through ammunition. He's got 6 napalm magazines, so ideally he can use probably 4 out in the first encounter. It leaves him a couple of clips left. He also has 2 car cannon magazines, which you're all thinking, why has he got car cannon ammo when he doesn't have a car cannon? The reason for this is I tend to run quite low on ammunition for a second encounter. So he had the space, I put the extra car cannon ammo in it, and in the looting phase I'll take the car cannon from him and give it to a guy with a car cannon. He's also got an extra medium machine gun reload. Now, all my buzzers I will run with a crew of only 3. Now, this is to give myself more ammunition. In Somerset, my buzzers will run with probably 4, even 5 crew, because the ammunition isn't a major issue. But in Badlands, ammunition, you want to take enough for everything you're going to fight. So my crew of 3, I obviously have a driver and 2 dedicated gunners. Now, I mean, as I've said, because my 2 guys will be on the napalm gun, as you can see, David Jones and Hubert Lasher, they're quite low skilled. But when I'm using napalm, I will target the ground, and you get a massive bonus to hit the ground. So they're going to train up pretty quick in ballistics weapons. And then once they're a bit better, then I'll spec them out, might move them on to other weapons. And then I'm never going to be using the napalm and the machine guns at the same time. So if I need to use the machine guns, they both get off the napalm, just jump on the machine guns. Jack of Spades, renowned Jack of Spades. I don't know if you're aware, but your vehicles will gain their own reputation. The more damage they take, and the more they survive, and the more damage they inflict, the more fame they get. And your crew receive like courage bonuses, and they're a bit more confident if they're in a legendary car. This one's only renowned, and it has 2 rear car cannons. One of them I've spent some chrome on, and it's given it an extra 10% accuracy. Again, V8 engine, higher rear armour, because these are all rear gunned. That just enables me to run away. 6 car cannon ammo, and he's got a heavy machine gun, which again I do the same thing. I drop that ammo and give it to someone who's got a heavy machine gun. Gunners, Sniper 3, Rapid Reload 2, Rapid Shot 2, Moving Targets 1, Eye of the Hurricane. And the secondary gunner, Rapid Reload 2, Sniper 2, Rapid Shot 1. So, quite often he'll get a couple of shots out of 1 car cannon. So, if you're shooting 3 car cannon rounds into one bad guy, that can be quite disarming for them. I have the legendary Jack of Clubs. This has got a front Gatling gun, just as a point defence weapon and a pedestrian hunter, rear laser and rear car cannon. Now the great thing with the laser is you don't need ammo for it, but you do need that laser specialist guy, which is why Darth Russell Green is manning that laser. And then they've got 6 car cannon rounds for that 1 car cannon. So more than enough car cannon ammo. If I need to spread it out, I will do in the looting. The famous Queen of Hearts, got slightly boosted V8 engine, 5% more power, anti-ped weapon, front Gatling gun, rear car cannon, rear heavy machine gun. Guess who's on that machine gun? My machine gun specialist 2, who also has Sniper 2, Rapid Reload 2, and Rapid Shot 2. Now we get on to the big stuff. This is a fire engine. This is the famous King of Clubs. I've painted it black, and he has 2 front heavy machine guns, a rear tank gun, a rear heavy car rifle, and a left and right Gatling gun. So I have Mad Max mans the tank gun. I have another. I have Kenneth Deadeye manning the heavy car rifle, and they will just pummel bad guys. Now the fire engines rear 50 points of armor, and that is as strong as a buzzer's armor. So he can take a lot of punishment. But generally, people sitting in front of him getting shot with a tank gun don't want to stay there very long. Then my last car in this squad is the King of Diamonds. This is a red fire engine, and this has got 2 rear mortars with 12 reloads for it. So he's carrying a lot of ammunition for these mortars. I have 2 machine guns left, 2 machine guns right, heavy machine gun front, and a car cannon front. And he is used just as a support. Fire at the guys whose tyres I'm shredding with my napalm. And that is my whole squad. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to set up a scout out. Now today is Friday, so unfortunately it's the lowest activity of the bad guys. So normally these guys would have over 950 fame quite often. So I'm just going to go for only 511 fame, and I always scout to Shantyville, and I always scout the 25 miles, because as you've seen, my scout isn't great. I'll roll that scout, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to do my setup, and then I'm going to leave it, I'm afraid, because this is going to take quite a lot of time. Usually my scouts can last about an hour, so I'm going to probably cut this into 2 or 3 videos for you, and then I'll show you a return, which might be another 2 or 3. Anyway, thanks for watching YouTube. See you very soon with my heavy scout.